Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, welcome to another round of Modern. We have Kahira fan Mark Mara on the left versus Ian Klein on Indomitable Creativity. Might be a fan of creativity, might be a fan of Archon, don't actually know. But he's leading on a Bloodstained Mire into a Thoughtseize using, first off, my favorite set of fetches, the Zendikar Rising Expeditions, and secondly, the amazing Thoughtseize, the Juji Ito Secret Lair Thoughtseize, which they're amazing looking. Like, Thoughtseize has a ton of good arts. Like, the Lorwyn art's really good. I actually like the Theros art a good bit, too. The Double Masters box stopper's great, but, like, this Thoughtseize from the Secret Lair is just amazing. It's unparalleled. Nothing actually compares to how good this art is. Which also means the Doomsday from that Secret Lair is the best Doomsday art. You can quote me on that one. That is an official opinion of alternate universes. Alright, that's all he's taking away a leyline binding. Mark, playing effectively what is blue-white control, though this is Anurag's 5-color control pile. It's really blue-white control with like splash for a couple other things. Probably very similar to the red, white, and blue list that was going around for a little bit there. I'm actually going to pull up Anurag's. Actually, I'll probably pull him up on Twitter. Anurag's pretty good about sharing his deck list on there. Anurag. MTG. Turns out I do not know how to spell Anurag.
Yep. That's that fetch. I'm at 19. Zago of Triumph off the bottom.
Anurag has 2 A's in his name, folks.
Draw for turn. Yep.
Found it. Alright.
Barry.
Okay, so if this is the list Mark is playing,
Plus.
there is actually 2 copies of Omnath in the main board and 3 copies of Red and 6. I don't know. July 2nd. This is probably what he played, or very similar. I said solid changes to the deck. Okay, then this is probably... Okay, cool. We found the list. No Red and 6 in this version or Omnath here, but there's a chance that he cleans shit up for the deck. As Mark is a big fan of Ren and 6, as a lot of us are. Ren is just an amazing card. Going to Prismatic Mending that Fairy Time Reveler there.
Draw for turn. Yep. Go ahead. Enough fetch. Yep. 10. Mine trigger. Sure.
That was a very interesting matchup. So, Creativity. Very good deck.
Is that cool for
Right.
Yep.
Now, I wonder if Blue-White has enough counter option to prevent it from going off. If we're looking at this list here, we have 4 copies of Counterspell on the main board, 3 Force of Negations,
Sure.
1 Days Undoing. Again, assuming this is the list that Mark is on. Prismatic Ending to tie up stuff like the Dwarf tokens, if for some reason they're around more than the turn that they're supposed to get popped, or if Teferi is on the board. You can do it at instant speed. It also does clean up treasure tokens, which can be pretty big. Leyline Binding, Solitude. So Mark does look like he has a lot of options to deal with the tokens, but you'll have to see. Subtlety doesn't do too much except for a hard cast at Archon. Solitude on Archons does feel pretty bad. As somebody who's played a lot of 4-color and had 2 Solitude, 1 too many Archons, it is not a good time.
Draw for turn.
There are Dovin's vetoes in the sideboard, which pretty neat. pretty helpful. Blood Moons, not a bad idea, honestly, to cut them off of
Go ahead.
the Dwarven Mines. Trust now, rest in peace. Nothing too much out of the sideboard outside of that. And with has a Ren at 7 here. 5 lands in play, 2 dwarf tokens. Into a 6 land. Mark not really drawing a ton here. Gonna cast a Fable the Mirror Breaker.
So I don't have the token,
This will create another creature for Ian.
it makes treasures, right? Yeah.
Using that first mate Ragavan token. Not exactly a 2/2 Goblin Shaman, but honestly kind of an amazing token on its own, so I'm here for it. And most of us know what the Shaman does, right? So there are worse ways to portray it. What if we Sharpie to 2 over the 1 toughness?
Wandering Emperor.
Mark, going to flash in a Wandering Emperor here.
Fetch him at 17.
Going to activate its loyalty ability at instant speed to make a 2/2 Vigilance Samurai. And we'll fetch a Hallowed Fountain in the end step as well. Now, that's definitely one difference between the Honorog list that I just saw and what Mark's playing. Mark clearly has a Wandering Emperor on the board, and I did not see one in that list that I just took a look at. So, yeah. I wonder what he replaced. He might have been, you know what, he might be playing it over the Narsets. I don't know if I've ever seen Mark play Narset in Modern, which means he's also most likely not playing the days I'm doing as well.
Ren.
That is most likely the only real change that Mark made, but who knows?
Ring.
Ian's Ren going up to 8 here.
Trigger, throw everything.
The 1 ring coming down from Mark. He's going to tap it to draw a card.
Good.
Ian fetching here. We'll make another dwarf token. Now, Ian has the ability to ult Ren here, get the emblem, and still have a Ren 6 floating around. And realistically, once Ren emblem, I don't know if there's a way that Mark can compete with it. Fable will allow Ian to discard 2 cards here. Because like, the thing is, right, even...
Sure.
So let's say Ren emblems, and then Ren gets to stick around. He's just picking up a land every turn, or she is just picking up a land every turn.
Yep. Just gonna
And then
put it like this.
Ian is just able to cast any spell from his yard that he wants to without issue. And if that's in double creativity every time, eventually Mark will run out of counter spells. We're going to see Ren ulted here, being pulled out of the sleeve to represent its emblem being activated, utilized.
Combat. Trigger. Yeah, you
Trigger,
get
trigger, or treasure thing. Goblin Shaman attacking and getting blocked, trading with the Samurai, but will create a treasure on its way out.
I'm gonna cast Prismatic.
4 mana will cast Prismatic ending from the yard, discarding that Bloodstained Mire. The ring will get dealt with immediately. Right, second copy of Fable coming out here, making another shaman.
Draw.
And while Mark has a 9-point life total lead, I don't actually think Mark is ahead in this game.
Plus. Ren.
Ian has the board state, has the card manipulation, has the Ren emblem. All he needs to do is sneak through one Indomitable creativity, and the game is basically over. Ren getting exiled of his mannequin and Kahira being purchased.
These both happen. Yep.
We have a Fable flipping, we have a Fable going to 2. We discard a card, draw 1. I think I have an Arcana Cruelty. Shocking down to 6 with his Steam Vents. I actually really like the look of this like 5-color creativity deck. Here's a Teferi Time Rattler being presented. Mark with a 1 land is gonna be unable to counterspell that. Barring maybe a Force of Negation.
Yes, fine.
The Fairy will resolve. Bounces the token, draw the card.
Go to combat. Yep. Attack you for 2, make a treasure. Sure. I'm at 15.
Attacks in for 2, makes a treasure trip.
Creativity for 2 turns.
Going to see a Indomitable Creativity. X equals 2 will pop the Shaman and the thing that I can't think of, the Dwarf token. Get 1 Archon. Get a second copy of Archon. So at this point, Ian is going to gain 6 life, draw 2 cards. Mark is going to lose 6 life, discard 2 cards, and if he had creature, he's going to sacrifice it, but he's going to sacrifice that Planeswalker on his board.
Ring. Good.
Alright, Ian taking game 1. We are quick into game 2. Mark leading on Mr. Rainforest. Ian leaving on a Bloodstained Mire into a Thoughtseize.
You see my shame. I'll take beyond that. Let me just write that down. I'll fetch while you're doing that. Show 19.
Oh, there is a non-math there. Very interested to see what Mark's list actually looks like. Because I don't think I can post the one that Anurag shared on Twitter. Because I don't think it's accurate.
All set?
I'm not surprised that Mark is playing out now. Mark is a big fan of that card too.
Good.
Hall of Storm Giants. Second land. Infinitely better than Celestial Colonnade.
Drew a Flooded Strand.
Discards the other non-land card.
Yep. Here we go. Good. Now
I feel like somebody is going to watch this video and hear me say that Hall is infinitely better than Celestial Colonnade and then get angry about that, not understanding that it's a reference, an inside joke at AU. Alright, Ian, fetching a... I'm going to assume that Zayator's Proving Ground. I don't know what the Art Deco ones are. I think the only one I know is the Bant one, and that's just because we buy it all the time in the shop. Which I can't think of what the hell the Bant one's called. My brain keeps going to the Skyline stage, but that is at the Man in Philly. Rafine's Tower's the Esper one. Spar's headquarters. Okay.
Fetching your end step, assuming we're going there.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the Jund one, but open to always being wrong. 3 mana, go for it to fairy, get counterspelled.
Why am I at
Ian down 7
Why
points
am
in
I
life
saying
here.
I'm at 16?
I don't know. Are you shocking?
No.
Then
I
you're,
just I can't read my own handwriting.
then you're at 18.
Yeah, 18.
I thought you meant you were shocking. That's why.
No, I'm just confused.
Been there.
Almost. So close.
But I sounded confident,
You
didn't
did.
I?
You did sound very confident. I was like, hey, you want it to be 16.
This deck is crazy.
I believe that you can do it.
Draw for turn. Go.
Alright, island, land for turn.
Like, I just beat
Fable.
I beat, it was the Hyeno Lockjaw.
I will always enjoy how goofy land go is in Magic. It's not a bad thing. It's goofy. I played at RCQ on Saturday, and there was like 3 turns where neither of us could do anything. And we were like, land, go. Land, go. It's just a silly little game state. Going to 5 mana here for Mark. Unfortunately, probably not casting a Hero Dominaria. Nope, we're going to be casting a Solitude, exiling that Shaman token, giving Ian 2 more points of life, going to 11 here. Going back down to 10. Making a Dwarf. It's a very shields down moment for Mark. If Ian has creativity and Mark does not have force of negation, this could be like backbreaking. He could also have second Solitude, which, like, if that's the case, not too bad. Again, Solituding an Archon never feels good, but
Yep. Yep.
alright, dropping 2 lands. I think picking up another land in the process. Does indeed pick up another land. Gonna make another dwarf.
You said go.
Let's go.
Draw for turn. You have 1 in hand?
Oh no.
I have 2.
2.
I think I have to retreat. I just picked an Infinite. And I'm playing
Buy
Citizen
Kahira.
London.
Cast Kahira.
Here's good for free.
We'll buy Kahira, play Kahira, attack with a 4/3 Vigilant Solitude,
I'm at 6.
Accidentally just shot myself.
and we'll take it to the face, going down to 6.
Good.
Mark will gain 4, going to 22.
Yep.
21. Okay. Let's see, prismatic ending on Kahir here.
Here you go.
Draw for turn.
Mark does have enough mana to activate the Hall here. Actually, is that true? Is it 6 and 1 or 5 and 1? I think it's 5 and 1, right? Yeah.
Swing.
All right, cracking in for lethal.
Fine, no effects. I go to 24. Solitude's dead.
We're going to see Reflection of Kikijiki and Solitude trade with each other. The dwarf valiantly jumping in front of the Hall.
Sure.
Right, gonna cycle a Savai Triumph here. Gonna draw a card. 2 mana. Play red and 6.
Yep.
Picks up Bloodstained Mire. Says go.
Draw for turn.
Yep.
Can make an on-demand blocker for
Go ahead.
the Hall that Mark will probably swing with.
Yep. 5.
Goes down to 5. Now, if Mark had hot new sideboard card cast into the fire, he'd be able to kill both of those tokens and get his Hall in for combat damage. Why he would side that in this matchup, I really don't have an answer for you. But
Fetch
good.
clear on step on a 23.
Could use it to exile treasures, I guess. Both players, a ton of mana in play. Nothing to really do with it. Mark has the man land that he can use. Ian
Draw for turn.
could draw a copy of Archonic Royalty. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Rambler.
5, 7 is 1 mana away from just being able to hardcast it. There's a Dovin's Veto on Teferi here.
Go ahead.
Fetch. Go to 4.
4.
I just got infinite. I just wanted to. What? Literally almost last minute. I had like an hour and a half.
Yep.
Let me take it up. He's not at it again. Here you go. I don't want to play with Dude, I had him play. Yeah, you're gonna win. Alright, we're gonna play.
Draw for turn.
Yep.
So sick.
Go ahead.
So bad.
Ren going to 7 here.
Yep.
Pick up Bloodstained Mire. We have all 4 copies of Dwarven Mind in play. 9 available mana.
Now I have to finish this conquest run that I started.
Creativity X equals 3. Dovin's Veto. Insane. Okay, that's fine. Can ult my Ren next turn.
And step bounce the
Ooh, Odawar, bounce to Ren. That's pretty good. We are not ulting Ren next turn.
Fairy is what I was thinking. Go ahead.
Odawar is such a good card. It's such a cool card, too. Like, obviously, Beseju is the best of those channel abilities. But Odawar is pretty sweet on its own. Especially the fact that you could use it on your own stuff. One of my, yeah, it's the fact that you can do it on your own stuff is sweet.
You try to recast though.
Sakar just pulled my Bizarre out of my hand.
Yep.
Stomping ground. Sure.
Yep.
Ren coming back down, picking up a Stomping Grounds. Ian playing it tapped. Mark
And
flashing into Solitude.
Solitude. Pick off a token.
Exiling a token. Ian going to do 5 life here.
Go to my turn. Draw for turn. Combat.
Attack Ren for 3. Attacking something for 3.
I got a 26.
We'll block.
Your turn. Yep, you got 4.
We'll fetch. Gets a catcher triumph.
But he conceded.
Yep.
It's so bad.
Hard cast Archon Cruelty.
Yep, no problem.
Mark has to count himself for the hard cast, but Archon. Ian, however, does have the Dovin's Veto. Well, that is very clearly not Zayator's Proving Ground. Japanese Garden, maybe? I don't know.
23, you're at 7.
Archon entering play. Mark will discard a card, sack a creature,
Draw.
lose 3 life. Ian will draw a card, gain 3 life, and have a 6/6. All block, attack. Cool.
Good.
It exists, and then sometimes it just drops losing on his turn. They don't know what to do.
Alright, hard cast, second Archon here.
So many things.
You're at 10, I'm at 20.
Mark will discard a card,
Sorry, I wasn't countering. That was my discard.
My bad.
Yeah.
a little
I
bit
only
of
have the
confusion
one.
about that, it's okay.
Yeah.
Mark will discard a card, go down to 17 here. Ian will gain 3.
Draw a card.
Yep.
I'll attack.
Yep.
17, I go to 13.
You go to 13, I go to 17.
Then
I'll
Archon
take
will
6, I'm
attack.
at 11.
Mark will take a total of 9 damage.
Empty-handed.
Is his life total 11? Was he at 23? Maybe he was at 23.
Ring. This deck sucks.
Picks up Force and Negation for turn. Not going to help him here. Those Archons are going to be lethal on the back crack.
Exiled.
Crackback.
I can force a block. Yeah.
And we're going to say, F it, Animate Hall, attack in. Ian probably just going to take it. He is at 13.
I was like, wait.
And
Yeah.
Mark, realizing that, will scoop. Game 2 goes to Ian. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.